Hi, I'm Casper. I'm a Singaporean in my early 30s, and today I wanted to share with you my personal finance system. So, what is a personal finance system? If we want to hit our goals for financial wellness, I think setting up a personal finance system is really important. That can help you survive in this economy, for example, or it could even do more than that. For example, help us maybe even gain financial independence. And to set us up, we need to actually talk through a few components of this system today. I'm going to cover all this on a high level. Honestly, it's really for you to decide on how you want to handle things, how you want to actually set it up. I can give you some pointers along the way. I even have done a full in-depth video about how to do a budget. But really, it is up to you to research and find out more, whether it's from my channel or elsewhere, or even if you come up with your own ideas, that would be fine. The 5 things you should have in your personal finance system are your goals, your financial goals, number 1. Number 2, the income, how are you going to get your income? Number 3, the budget, so how are you going to budget that income? Number 4, insurance, because you want to make sure that you are sufficiently covered, you're safe. And number 5, investments, that's how your money is going to grow, and hopefully in a more passive way, or at least in a way that helps you defray the effects of inflation. So ask yourself, what do you want out of your personal finance system? What are you aiming to achieve? So looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it really starts with physiological needs, and that's really more about survival. So if you are struggling right now, your personal finance system should support you getting that kind of need physiologically for survival. If you are at that level, maybe the next one will be safety. That's where insurance really comes in. Beyond that, it is really refining your personal finance system to support the kind of goal you have. So for example, if you are in student debt, you want to pay that off ASAP, that would be a goal you have. If you don't have any debt, or if you do have debt but you are in a difficult situation, you may want to build up an emergency fund first before even looking at investing or growing that money. So this is what you need to do. Really plan your goals out. Think about, what do I want to achieve for my financial wellness? You can start from the top, meaning from a high level, far away kind of view. So in 20 years, I want to retire. So from that, estimate about how much you need to retire. Try to take into account inflation if you can. If not, it's okay. Just come up with a number for that 20 years, then work backwards, right? Income really comes exponentially. So it comes down to, okay, maybe by 30, I want to have $100,000 in my bank account, or as my net worth, excluding my flat, for example. That could be something you want to do. So personally, for me, I am looking for financial independence. And the thing is, I am always a bit cloudy about when I was younger. I used to be more ambitious. I wanted to retire by 40. But now in my early 30s, I don't feel like I'll be able to get there so soon. So I'm pushing it back a bit. And that's key for your goals. I just want to let you know that goals are just milestones or things that you would like to achieve. Of course, we do want to work towards them, but we don't want to place any unnecessary stress on ourselves, especially if those goals may not be as realistic as you thought they were when you started out with your planning. So yes, do you want financial safety, the ability to survive and weather difficult times, whether you need financial wellness so that you're able to thrive in most situations, meaning if you have an income, you can survive, you can even do well for yourself, you can even spend on yourself, and you're planning to work all the way to maybe 65, I think, and then rely on your CPF, that's also fine. Financial independence is something I aim to. I just want to have the freedom from needing to earn money, meaning if I'm in a difficult situation at work or in my career, I would always feel comfortable to raise these issues just because I am covered. I can cover myself. I know I'll be safe for maybe the next few years without an income. So that is a few levels that I would suggest for your goals. So you want to think far ahead. What do you really want? Do you just want to work that 9 to 5? And if you want a family, all that, what is realistic for you? Is retirement really realistic? Is it something too far to plan? If it is, then dial it back down. Next 5 years, I want children. How much do I need to earn? How much do I want to save up? How much should I have invested? All these things will be very helpful to understand why you're actually doing this personal finance system. In a future video, I might go in deeper into how to actually set this up. Let me know if you're interested. Beginner level goals that I just wanted to share with you would be maybe to save up for your emergency fund. That would be about 6 months of your expenses. So with your budget, you should roughly know how much you're actually saving and not saving, and then seeing how much you're spending, and from that you can actually extrapolate how much you need for 6 months. Apart from that, how much percentage of your income do you want to invest? How much percentage of income are you okay just spending for fun, for trips and more? And then maybe just a very high high level ballpark figure, like I want to earn 120k when I'm 35, something like that. That would actually contribute to how hard you push at your career, at your income. Even if you have to do some side hustles, that is something you aim for, and that's why you want to actually have that goal first. So you know what you're doing, you know where you're going. When you set your goals up, you do want to review them periodically. So it'd be good to actually place them somewhere that you will see. I think this is one of my weak points. I often don't look at my goals after I set them up for the year or even for the 5 years. So they should be somewhere visible. Now I do put it in my notebook, but I don't really look at the front page all the time. I also have it on my Notion dashboard. The problem is I dive straight down into the work dashboard that I created for myself, and that doesn't have my goal. So sometimes, you forget. So even this video that I'm making is a reminder to myself to often review and change my goals whenever things don't feel right. So I already mentioned, like, I wanted to retire at 35 when I was much younger. Now I realize it's unrealistic, and now I'm hoping for 45 or even 50, just because I know the economy is really bad right now. I have even fears about my investments, my passive investments even, but that's a story for another day. Well, I just wanted to note that you shouldn't be stressing. Your goals should support you. You shouldn't be stressing out over your own goal. Some stress is always good, but you don't want to be overly stressed, right? After you've come up with your goals, the next key part of your personal financial system would be your income. Where are you getting your income from? If you are aiming for survival, it is pretty simple. Just get whatever job you can. If you do want to go beyond that, you might want to spend more time thinking about how much you're worth. You want to spend some time thinking about the job that you want. You might want to spend some time even looking at the market rates for your job. For example, if it doesn't make sense, maybe you should change your career. Maybe you should change some lines. I myself have had a varied career. Let me know if you want to know more. But I used to be a senior associate at a Big Four. I also been in customer support. I've also done technical writing. Right now, I'm actually a product manager, which specializes more towards commercialization and go-to-market. So, I've had a varied career just because I have always been looking for a better environment, a better pay, a better fit to my strengths, and also at the same time discovering what kind of strengths I have. I think these are things you want to think about depending on your goals. Because of this, if you do want to earn more, there are other things with your income that you want to think about, like building a side business. Like even this YouTube thing is something that I'm experimenting and trying out. Whether it works out or not, at least I've tried. It could include personal branding. So it could be, shaping up your LinkedIn, creating your own website, representing yourself as well as you can, and always pushing yourself to do more so that you can earn more money. Income is really the best way to attain your financial goals, because your income can always go up. Your savings can only be a maximum 99% of what you are earning, right? So do focus on your income. For all these components, I do recommend setting up a baseline first and then going back to refine it. So it's not like today, I'm going to get a job, build a website, start a business, have some personal branding on social media. No, just get a job first. Do the next thing, which is about budgeting, budget it simply, do a bit of investments, do a bit of insurance, and then you come back and refine it. So that's how you should really approach your system. You should be constantly iterating and refining. One thing I really wanted to point out is that our parents' generation are often different. Back in the day, things are quite different. Humans are valuable. Human capital is valuable. You just learn your job. You just do your job. And that's fine. In today's environment, that is very dangerous. With all the layoffs that have been happening, you want to be more agile than that. You want to make sure that you are not only good at one skill, but multiple skills. It's best to have a T shape, right? Which is you are generally good at a lot of things and specialize in one thing. You don't want just to be specialized, or you don't want to just be a master of none. You don't want to be somewhere where something goes obsolete, right? AI is getting more advanced. Robots are getting more advanced. There have been rumors of, the auditing process being taken over by big data. Having the assumption that your one skill that you specialize in guarantees you a job is wrong. This assumption is a bad assumption. So keep learning new skills, keep trying new things, and investing your money into those things. For example, I bought a good camera, just to motivate myself to do something. Yeah, so you do want to try to explore a bit more. The third part of your personal finance system should be your budget. So after you get the income, what do you do with it? That is what a budget really helps you with. I used to use this app called You Need a Budget. One of the tenets of you need a budget is give every dollar a job, and that is what you need to do. You need to make sure that what you're earning is going to what you want, not just mindlessly disappearing, which is what happened for like the first 2 years of my career where I was in KPMG. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with my money. I went out for expensive lunches just because my colleagues did. I just went out, I just spent that amount. If I needed new work clothes, I just bought them. It's so easy not to care, right? And I just want to beg you to actually take some time, care about it. I know it's difficult to look at what you're spending. I know it's difficult to see exactly what's happening because you might not be happy with the results. But if you don't do that first step, you will never get to where you want to go. And that's why I beseech you, create a budget, try to follow it, try to adopt it, I've done a series about setting up a free budget tool and actually using it on a day-to-day basis. So I suggest you take a look. It's just an option. If it doesn't work out for you, look for one of the many free budget apps that are out there. Just want to make it clear, a budget shouldn't make you feel guilty. You should be able to change your budget just so that you feel good, surviving. If you portion 50% to investments and you realize this is unsustainable, just dial it down to 40 and see how you feel. You shouldn't feel guilty for not being able to do it. The next component I wanted to talk about is something that I'm not particularly good at. So I just want to have a caveat. I'm not good at insurance. I'm not a FA in that sense. I don't sell insurance. I don't even care much about the insurance I own. So you probably can do your own research and find out more. I just want my insurance to be completely separate from my investments so that I can monitor it myself independently. I don't want to rely on an insurance company to give me returns just because they are insurance companies, right? They are not specialized, investments and things like that. And tying your insurance to your investments is particularly dangerous because you don't know how much is going to which. I don't recommend whole life insurance to people of our age. It's really up to you, of course. For me, I just want term insurance because I'm not looking to leave any money behind. When I go, I hope I have spent all the money. I hope I'm left with zero. I hope I don't have inheritance, basically, just because I am not planning to have children. I have a very fixed vision of my life. So you don't need to know what you want. Term insurance just covers you up to a certain point for death. And even that, I don't even know how critical that is, just because I do feel like my family is privileged enough to survive even without me. And I feel like if I do suddenly die, my savings and my CPF should be that sort of insurance. Term life, I do have it. It's really up to you. Think about it. But what I wanted to talk about here today are insurance that are slightly more expensive. You may not want to get them, but think about it. The three insurances that I feel like are important are the critical illness insurance. Critical illness is very tough because you will be in critical illness, right? You might have cancer, you might not be able to work, your income may be severely affected. So I do feel like critical illness is really important, especially to alleviate the friends and family that would have to take care of you. Basically, all my insurance policies that I voluntarily decided to get are all to alleviate the people around me while I'm alive. Because once I'm dead, I'm no longer a burden, I'm no longer a liability. But as long as I'm alive, there will be some responsibilities that my family and friends have to take on. Just cover yourself for critical illness, whatever you can. You want to get some payout so that you can take care of yourself. If you can get early critical illness, that's even better. That's number one. Number two, another important one is long-term disability insurance. Touch wood, right? If I do get a long-term disability, I do want to be covered just because, again, I want to alleviate the people around me. I want to be able to pay for things myself. I don't want to be a burden like that. I want to even give a stipend to people who are taking care of me just because they may not be able to earn the income that they potentially could. So that's one example. And the third one is personal accident insurance. I don't think there needs to be much. There shouldn't be much needed to be said about that. It's just basically covering yourself in case there's some accidents lah, basically. Insurance is really important. It is something that I wish I can dive into more and learn more myself. If you do have any insurance YouTubers or something, or somewhere you can learn insurance from, please feel free to share below, because I'm more than happy to learn myself, and then I can, distill the information. I tend to be very wary of financial advisors. I tend to avoid them. At the same time, they are a necessary evil, I would say. There are financial advisors, like from Money Owl, that you pay to get that advice, so they are not so biased towards selling you policies for the sake of it. And I feel like that is something that I would like to try someday. At this point in time, I do feel comfortable with the insurance I have, and that's why I'm just keeping it as is. Okay, the last part of your personal financial system would be your investments. This part is where most people actually focus their time on. Investing so they can get the return, so they can beat inflation, things like that. It is something that you definitely want to look at. At the same time, it is hard, okay? It is hard, it is intimidating. I do feel like it should be the last thing you look at. I do feel like you should set up your income first, find a job. Who cares about the passion? Just get a job that earns well. Number two, do your budget so you know where your money is going. You can funnel some of that into long-term investments, settle it another day. Going to the market immediately is not a necessary thing. Of course, early in the market, they say it's better returns, right? But there's so many different thoughts about investments. And then, do your insurance first. Make sure you have enough money to pay for your insurance and then look at your investments. So I do feel like passive investments, something you should start with just because it's easier. It's not necessarily better. It's just easier on your psyche. It's easier on your effort. So this is what I do. I do put money into low risk instruments like SSB, the Singapore Savings Bonds now, because they're doing quite well. I'm also putting in T-bills. I'm topping up my CPF. Apart from that, I also invest passively with endowers. I looked at StashAway as well. I looked at different robo-advisors. I even bought ETFs as well using Standard Chartered. So those are some things that you want to explore. I don't want to talk about investments here because it will make it too long, but it's something you want to think about. Once you have leveled up, once you have done everything and you've gone through again, doing your personal branding, improving your career, earning to a certain extent, that's when you might want to look at certain active investments like stock picking. People who buy Tesla, for example, those are stock pickers, or even doing crypto. So I was in a lot of crypto last year during the boom. I just didn't know when to exit. So I did make mistakes. I have lost about 6 figures just because I put so much money in and it actually doubled, tripled, quadrupled, and I didn't take the money out just because I was too optimistic, I was too naive, and I've learned my lesson from that, and that's why I'm sharing with you today. Active investments are not easy. It is not easy to predict. It's something that you want to think about after you have settled all these facets of your personal financial system. I just wanted to recap the 5 things you should do. Set up your goals. It doesn't need to be too detailed. Just set up something simple. Make sure you get your income. One day I'll do another video about how you shouldn't care about passion, because passion is a lie. I do feel like passion is a lie, but just get a job first. If you have your own business, kudos to you. The most of us will just get a job. So get a job to get your income. Budget that income first. Get some basic insurance that covers you. Set up some passive investments so that you are actually helping your money grow against the inflation that is happening worldwide right now. Once you've done that, go back again, look at your goals. Are you earning enough? After looking at investments, do you realize, you want more? Things should be different. You want financial independence, look at your goals. Then again, how are you going to increase your income? Do you need to change your job? Do you need to look for another job? Do you need to change your line? Is something else more attractive? That's where you slowly cycle through, then revise your budget again. How much can I actually afford to invest more now that I want to be financially independent? Or now that I already settled my survival, I can actually spend more money or bring my parents out, things like that. So you do go through these cycles, iterate, look at what you have, and then move on. And that's how I actually try to approach my personal finance system. I would say that I'm pretty good at working on my budget. Income-wise, I'm still trying my best to figure out my career, figure out what's best for me. I do feel like I have more varied experience that I can share here about how to do career switching and more. As for insurance, that's a weak point of mine just because I am afraid of so many financial advisors. I don't particularly trust them. I trust myself and my own research more. And then investments is something that I actively do. But as you know, I just told you that I lost a lot of money in crypto. So that's not something I would recommend. At the same time, I do have experience in that as well, clearly, and I've been burned, I've been earning, I've been losing. So that's something that I wanted to share. I hope this video was useful. If there was a component that I've missed, something that you do, please leave a comment down below and let me know so I can learn from you as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe because it really helps me out. And you have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.